Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're going to break down a really specific piece of AV gear. It's the WolfPack HDMI to CAT6 Extender.
Right, and we've got the spec sheet here from HDTV Supply.
We do. And our mission is pretty simple. Look past the marketing and figure out what makes this particular unit a robust choice for a dedicated 1080p setup.
Exactly. When you're talking extenders, it's all about reliability over distance, and this model is squarely focused on that.
So let's jump right in. The basics. We know it handles 1080p at 60 Hertz, but the big question is always, how far?
It's rated for runs up to 164 feet, that's 50 meters, over standard CT6 cable.
Okay, 164 feet is a pretty serious distance. That covers most big houses or light commercial jobs, right?
For sure. And speaking of commercial, there's a little detail here we should probably highlight. It's TAA compliant.
TAA compliant. Okay, let's unpack that. Why would an installer or, the end user care about that?
Well, it means it follows the U.S. Trade Agreements Act. So for any job that involves the government, military, that sort of thing, TAA is often a flat-out requirement.
So it's not a consumer-grade thing. It's built to a standard that lets it play in those high-stakes professional environments.
That's it. It elevates the whole product.
Now, this is where it gets interesting for me. The flexibility features. I see it has an HDMI loop-out function right on the transmitter. Why is that such a game changer?
Oh, it solves the #1 headache on an install: troubleshooting.
How so?
You can plug a small monitor directly into the transmitter right where your source is, so you see the video before it even goes down the long cable run.
So you know instantly if your source is working. You're not running 160 feet back and forth.
Exactly. It tells you immediately if the problem is with the source or somewhere down the line. It's a huge time saver.
Okay, and what about control? It says bi-directional wideband IR. That sounds like more than just pointing a remote.
It is. Bidirectional means you can control the source, like your Blu-ray player in a closet, from the TV. And you can also control the TD's functions from where the source is. It gives the installer total freedom to hide the gear wherever they want without losing control.
Got it. Now let's get into the real technician stuff. ED management. This is where installs can go so wrong.
The dreaded digital handshake, yeah.
This unit has 16 different EDID configurations. That seems like a lot of control.
It is. I mean, ED is just the display telling the source what it can handle. If that conversation fails, you get a black screen. It's that simple.
So with this, you can basically force the conversation to work.
You can. You can make it copy the EDA from the local display or the remote one, or choose from a built-in list. It turns a troubleshooting nightmare into just a few clicks on a switch.
It also has an optical audio out, which is nice for hooking up a sound bar or a separate audio system.
Yeah, it just adds another layer of flexibility for audio integration.
So if we pull back for a second and look at the bigger picture, where does this 95 unit sit in the market?
Well, it's a workhorse for 1080p. If you look at WolfPack's other products, you'll see a cheaper 4K extender, but it's only 30 Hertz, and, it probably lacks this deep EDID control.
So the trade-off is?
The trade-off is you get rock-solid, reliable 1080p with all the professional tools you need to guarantee it works, instead of a compromised 4K signal that might give you headaches.
So to sum it up, this WolfPack extender is all about delivering that 1080p signal over a long distance while giving an installer the tools like TAA compliant, bidirectional IR, and manual EDD to solve problems before they even start.
It's the difference between a system that just works the first time and a job you have to keep going back to.
And that leads to a final thought for you to chew on. When you factor in the cost of a technician's time spent troubleshooting a finicky signal handshake, how much is a robust, customizable product like this really saving a business in the long run, even if it costs a bit more upfront than the simple plug-and-play box? Something to think about. We'll see you next time.